Hello to our 7 viewers that'll watch this on YouTube. My name is Vicente Cruz, fundraiser and event coordinator for the Oakland Greens. And today is our third Sunday of the month open public general meeting. We will not need any introductions, but I will go over the agenda. The first is agenda review, was intros as needed, California recall. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm going to take a break. Someone else is coming in. And I am actually going to also mute Don because he's cooking. And then we'll just restart. I don't need to do the introduction to our 7 viewers. But so agenda review, California recall, KPFA elections report back, Treasury report back, and under Treasury, it's the fictitious business name report back, and then approval for a new employment identification number, which is a fee for that. Social media, email report back, which Don has one for moving our all of our information from server to a cloud. The Texas Texas response trifold, October 2nd, tabling for the Texas response march here in Oakland. Green Party of California General Assembly proposals, Green Social, Green Merchandise, website report back, Facebook report back, which actually all of that could just be social media, and then announcements, and we're done. Is there any other agenda items? And was that phone number you as well, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is the California recall. Does anyone want to start on the report back on what happened? And no?
I could.
Oh, rock, paper, scissors. Let's go with Greg and then Michael.
Well, basically, Gavin Newsom is still in office because he had a very strong showing for people saying no on the recall. And as far as the replacement candidates, there wasn't too many surprises at the top, but Dan Kapelovitz, the Green Party endorsed candidate, most people think he did reasonably well, got just under 1%, came in ahead of 2 former Republican office holder, a former congressman, a former state senator, and was just 0.2% behind Caitlyn Jenner. So, you know, relatively, it looks like people did come out and vote for, I assume, mainly Green. There were 2 Greens on the ballot. The other one got 0.3%. So, I know. The state party website had an endorsement of Kapelovitz. So I guess probably people that wanted to vote Green went to the state party website and said, okay, Kapelovitz is the one that's endorsed. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Greg. Michael.
Yeah. I want to talk about the timing of this. I thought we shilly-shallied way too long on the endorsement. I think people had already voted by the time our endorsement actually was available. And I think that was, I don't understand that. So
we would have needed to have changed our bylaws 3 months ago, because our bylaws require a 6-week discussion period and a 1-week voting period. So that's almost 2 months. And by the time they announced the election, you know, we had almost no time to put it on. So in fact, we actually had to put it on before we even knew which candidates were going to qualify, because the whole timeline was compressed. So, you know, we should probably consider a bylaws amendment, at least for recall elections, to allow us to make decisions.
Well, that'll be at the county too. So were you finished, Michael? Let's let Mike finish.
No, I'm just going to say that, you know, I think that the state party should be empowered to speed this up in a situation. I mean, in other words, it's the trouble with rules. Rules are should be ignored or overridden at times, and That's what annoyed me about the recall. Over.
Let me go to Don, and then we're going to go, if you have any other direct response, Greg, and then I'm going to call on myself. Don, there you go. You got to unmute. I could hear the bang, the pot, so I muted you. Anyway.
No, it's good. I forgot to mute it. I just want to know, are we able to tell if the people that voted for our Green candidate actually voted no? He was asking us to vote no and to vote for him. And I was wondering if they'll actually tell us how many of the voters.
Greg?
It's a secret ballot. I don't know how they would be able to tell us that. We can do an informal poll, of course, and I suspect that because the state party endorsed no, that probably a majority, I don't know how much of a majority voted no, but yeah, there's no way to tell.
They're not going to tabulate that? Because that's still, that doesn't violate the secret ballot. They kind of tabulate things like that, what correlates to what.
Well, they only tabulate results by districts. They don't tabulate it by parties.
Or by candidate. They can't say like everybody that voted for this candidate, such percentage voted yes, such percentage voted no.
No, they don't do that.
Well, they don't do it. They could, but they don't.
Yeah.
One thing and two. And then, did you have any other direct response to what Michael was saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, the problem is that the state coordinating committee, over the last year or so, has been, getting feedback about you got to follow the bylaws. You got to follow the bylaws. And even criticisms. So, I think they were, what do they call it, a rock and a hard place, that they felt that, well, we're getting criticized about, not following the bylaws to the letter. And so if we don't follow it to the letter, then, we're going to get a big flack. So I think they felt that they had to just go with what was in the bylaws.
Okay. And I was going to call on myself.
And you can blame Mike Feinstein, because Mike Feinstein wrote the bylaws.
He does seem to have a big sway. And I'm going to call on myself. But before that, hi, Mika. Hi, Ms. Daniels. How you doing? So first, know that I just added to the, so for the next county meeting for the General Assembly proposal, a recall bylaws change. But what I will say first on this particular topic is that even though y'all got to be all struck to these bylaws, we're still really small enough that if we would have known that that's kind of where the Green Party was going to go and endorsed, Oakland could have been promoting it a lot sooner. And we're in a place where we get hundreds of hits. We're actually not, we actually are, sorry, dogs. We actually do make a little bit of a splash. So we could be promoting it sooner than that. Ooh, that long ramble. Lost my train of thought. But anyway, so the second thing was also what I thought about the recall. I thought we wasted an opportunity. I don't understand how the crazy Republican, the slave from the House would be somehow get more votes, even though everybody voted no. Is that because people voted no and then just bothered not to vote for any of the candidates?
Yeah, the Democrats were told not to vote for any replacements. So there was a huge, I think more people left it blank than voted for Larry Elder, the top guy.
Boy, let's hope they don't make the change that if people don't vote in a recall, whoever was the top tier gets all those votes, gets all those votes. I guess that'd be a way to hijack the election.
Could I say one more thing?
Oh, of course.
Reminded me of something.
Definitely.
I think that we ought to, this is not for necessarily our party's problem, but a general problem, that the idea that a plurality of, the highest number of candidates, the highest number of voters, and if the governor is recalled, is now elected, is absurd. And what we ought to do is separate the question of electing or a new governor from the question of the recall. And I think that the Green Party ought to push that forward.
Right. Well, and I've said my position on all the time too is I just don't, when we have tons and tons of tent cities wasting $300 million to do a recall election, especially when we have an election coming up in another year and a half after that, it makes no fucking sense to me. It's all just a fucking game that I don't like to play. And I always thought that we should fight it on that. And then I see Dale, go ahead.
Well, I have no problem with the recall and the 300 million. The problem I have is why in the world, when they drafted that initial legislation for this, didn't they just say that if the governor is removed, the lieutenant governor will be taking his place? That would have stopped the Republicans right there.
Good point.
Require them to change the rule. But yeah, no, that would do it. That's a good one. Oh, looks like he was coming in with something. Don, no? Yes? Yes, go ahead, please. Don't forget to unmute yourself. I know, swallow first.
No, this isn't the only thing that a private interest with money to pay signature gatherers gets on the ballot that shouldn't be. And maybe we should promote the idea that signature gathering should be volunteer only.
I would put that. I'm glad this is recorded because I will start putting that kind of in pieces as well. Because that would be a good one. Maybe that still goes on to one of the bullet points for the trifold, and I'll not jump ahead, but say that's what I hope to get out of tonight is to fill the bullet points, and I'll start writing even more. I hope people did get there's like a paragraph or so that we kind of started, and Don was the only one who responded. But anyway, when we get to that item, but yeah, I would be down for that. You know, we can talk about it then. Anything else on the California recall? And seeing none.